Hey, what's up guys? So I want to go into how I was able to meet my first millionaire mentor and basically live with him in Miami for a year and learn everything that I know now. So a lot of you guys want to start learning for free and start getting around the right people. And I'm gonna go into what I was able to do at a 20-year-old, guy, living with my parents and driving for Uber and working on the beach as a beach attendant, and just really didn't have a good chance in life, right? So meeting mentors is obviously the biggest thing that can set you apart from your competition, to help you grow way faster, to cut the learning curve and get you to where you need to be. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, because I'm gonna show you all of the tips on how to get mentors. And if you stay towards the end, I'm gonna show you how I was able to take that knowledge and apply it to my business. So you're not gonna wanna miss it. So first things first, when I was just getting started, I had to hustle on jobs, I had to do Uber, I had to just collect as much money as I possibly could. Now, I was living with my parents, I was a high school dropout, I worked on a beach, and I just knew that my only option was to grind, okay? And when I say this, I mean grind. Now, I was waking up at about 7 in the morning, okay? I was going to work, I had to be to work at 9 o'clock, and I worked in the sun as a jet ski rental tour guide, okay? So I had to take people out on jet skis. Not that it was really fun, but it was exhausting, okay? So I'm out in the sun, I'm burning up, I'm taking people out to go look at dolphins and all kinds of stuff. And right after, I would leave and change my clothes and go Uber, okay? So pick people up, you make 30 to 50 bucks after that. I had some tip money, and then I would, work for hourly. So as I'm collecting money, I'm basically trying to invest in skills, and I'm trying to invest in little courses, which I was doing. I believe at that time I bought the 67 Steps from Tai Lopez. And in that course, it's funny how this works. He was talking about mentorship and cutting the learning curve, and I knew, and it was on my mind, that I wanted to cut my learning curve and get a mentor. So, lo and behold, I'm driving Uber one night and I get a call from a massage therapist, okay? And she's at a client's house, and I have to pick her up and drop her off. And as we're getting to know each other, and I'm driving her down, to her house, she tells me that the person that she was massaging, or however you call that, he was actually this really well-known public figure in the town that I lived, right? There's billboards of him, he's all over every commercial, every radio channel, and I was like, no way, that's crazy. And then she says, yeah, well, he's actually looking for a driver for tomorrow to go to Miami. And I'm like, I'm in, let's do it. So next day, she lets him know about me, says, hey, this is Dylan, he's gonna drive you. So he's like, good, cool, let's go. I hop in his Mercedes, I drive him to Miami, and as we're driving, we're getting to know each other, right? He's this plump little old guy, he's 70 years old, he's he's very, very, very rich. And he sold diamonds, and he sold real estate, and he had a really big portfolio. And I knew that I could learn something from him because of the unique mannerisms that he had, okay? He walked differently, he talked differently, he was very persuasive, and he got his way, and I admired that. So as I'm, driving him, he's asking him about some of my, my life, and I talked to him about my business, and I was trying to sell stuff on eBay, and I was trying to learn all this digital marketing stuff. And right then and there, he says, oh, you should start a jewelry company, okay? So that's how I got started on e-commerce. He said, I'll put up the money, we'll go 50-50, and you'll be able to learn your e-commerce stuff, and we'll grow that business. And I was like, whoa, I can't believe this just happened. So why we were going to Miami in the first place was because he was a gambler and he used to gamble, okay? So I'm driving to Miami, I drop him off at Starbucks, where he gambled with a bunch of Russians and Jewish guys, and they were always in this gambling scenario where they spent all day playing backgammon. And I'm just kind of waiting in the car, walking around, and I call my mom, oh my God, you won't believe who I just met and what he said to me. He wants to start a business with me, yada, yada, yada. Now, why did this happen? This is the most random thing that could have happened to me, okay? Well, first off, the biggest thing that took, me from there to there, where I had nothing and I was just some random 21-year-old kid, and he saw something in me, right? He saw something that reminded him of himself. So the biggest thing that's gonna happen to you when you start meeting mentors that are way ahead of you, way older than you, different, and they see that you're grinding, okay? Now, I was working all the time, and when somebody can see that you are a needle in a haystack, you are different, you're a black sheep, and they see that because you're working super hard, what that does is it makes you different, especially if you're a younger person. There's a lot of young people out there that don't work hard, they don't have work ethics. They're just that alone can set you apart, okay? So when people see that, they are much more willing to invest money and time into you, okay? Which he did, okay? He bought the inventory, the websites, all the stuff we needed. He funded the whole project, and I was the workhorse, okay? Now, if you guys are, oh, I don't have any money, I don't have any, I don't have any connections, well, you're not working, all right? You're just not working enough. You're going out, you're hanging out with friends, you're doing your own thing, and you're just gonna deal with what comes from that, okay? So it kind of sucks. But what happened next was I started working for him, and I quit my other job. So I was his full-time assistant and his driver, okay? And he asked if I wanted to live in Miami with him, right? And it was this beautiful apartment right on the beach, really tall, like kind of skyscraper look. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna live there. So I got my own bedroom. It was really hard because I didn't really work for a lot of money, but I was able to, learn from osmosis. When you're around somebody enough times and you see how they act and you see what they do, from eating and talking and everything, and you could just kind of pick up on that stuff. So living with him in Miami, and I'm getting much more connected with his friends and all of these other wealthy people. So as soon as you meet one person, it's going to snowball effect and you start meeting other people, okay? And then I started, I remember I was friends with the head of the police department in that town. I used to go work out with him and go to the gym. I started meeting lawyers and doctors and all of these other people that taught me all kinds of other stuff. Then I met this one girl. She owned like a bunch of shops and stuff downtown Miami, and she taught me a whole bunch of stuff about social media, which I am applying right now. So this stuff snowballs if you actually start applying and putting a lot of effort into your networking. Networking is such a big deal, and it's not just by meeting clients or anything like that. You want to network for way more than just trying to get clients and trying to get more business. There are so many opportunities that you can have by actually networking a lot. Okay, so first thing that I did while I'm working with him, is I worked with him all day, and then at night I would sit down on the balcony and I would get all of the e-commerce work going, okay? And so I started learning e-commerce, and I started kind of figuring out how to price things and structure the business and stuff like that directly from him. But then what I did was I went and found other people that are more savvy in the tech industry, because Miami is full of them. They were full of marketers, full of people like that, online entrepreneurs. So the next thing that you're gonna wanna do when you're looking for a mentor, or you're looking for somebody to kind of guide you through life, you really wanna upgrade the way you dress, okay? Now, most people, they say, well, I don't believe in all that, it's superficial, I can do whatever I want, I can look the way I want. Well, you want to at least come off like you care what you do and what you wear, okay? If you're not clean, if your shorts are too long, or you're sagging your pants, or all of these things, you really want to be able to take care of that and try to go pick up a GQ magazine and change the way that your appearance looks, okay? Shave your face. If you're a girl, make sure your hair's not a mess, and whatever you gotta do, okay? Just make sure that you look presentable, okay? Because you never know when you're gonna meet someone like that, okay? A lot of people that are Uber drivers, they didn't get dressed up, they didn't look good, but me, I did, okay? So when he met me, he could see that, okay, this guy actually cares, all right? So you wanna have a good work ethic, you wanna have a good head on your shoulders, and you want to dress well and appear well, okay? So the last thing that I will leave you with is actually have something to talk about, okay? Actually have things that you're working on, that you're learning. So when you learn, when you're reading books and you're doing things like that, it makes you much more interesting in a conversation setting. So my mentor, he's asking me questions and stuff, and what I did was I said, oh, well, I read this book, this is what I know about this. So it makes you look competent. So when he was investing, tens of thousands of dollars into the business, I was much more competent with that money, so he could trust me more without being up my ass. All right, so that's all I got in that video. If you like that, I'll share more stories. So I will see you on the next video.